Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I will be talking about Premier League Match Week 14 preview and prediction. So this midweek fixture, it didn't really disappoint us. We saw some really good games, some really good performance from some teams. So I'm gonna go through some results. So the first game was actually Wolves versus Chelsea. Wolves won 2-1. It was a surprising win, but both teams did play fair enough football, so I don't think it was an upset. And then Man City versus West Bromwich, it was a 1-1. And unfortunately, West Bromwich manager got sacked. It was very harsh, but well. Then Arsenal versus Southampton 1-1. I think Arsenal should be happy because they got a draw out of that game, even though they had a red card. Leeds United destroyed Newcastle 5-2. Everton surprisingly won against Leicester City 2-0. Fulham versus Brighton 0-0. Liverpool versus Tottenham, it was a 2-1. Last minute goal from Firmino. West Ham versus Crystal Palace, it was a 1-1. Aston Villa versus Burnley 0-0. Even though Aston Villa did had a lot of chances, but they were unfortunate. And then Sheffield United versus Manchester United, it was 3-2 to Manchester United. So there were some really good games. And now let's head back to Premier League Match Week 14 preview and prediction. So before I start my preview and prediction, the like target for this video will be 20. First game is Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. This is a great game. Crystal Palace are in some good form. They got 5 points in the last 3 games. On the other hand, Liverpool are coming off a 2-1 win against Spurs. So I think this is going to be a tight game, but I think Liverpool are a little bit too strong. We all know that Liverpool are not 100%, but still they are playing some decent football, very, very dominating football recently. So I think they're going to get another win in this fixture. I think it's going to be a tight one because Crystal Palace is not an easy team to play when they are at home, but I feel like Liverpool do have a little bit more quality, so therefore I'm going to go with Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 1. Southampton versus Manchester City is the next game I'm going to talk about. I think this is another good game to watch. Southampton are 3rd at the moment, and Manchester City is 9th, so I think this game is going to be a tight one. Manchester City will be looking for a win because they are 8 points behind Liverpool, so I think they will be looking for a win over here. So Southampton form line, I think they've been playing some decent football. Their last game was against Arsenal. They draw 1-1, and I think they should be disappointed with themselves because Arsenal were a man down. So I think they should be disappointed with themselves. On the other hand, Manchester City, they're not really scoring goals this season, but still they're playing some attractive football. Defensively, they've been organized. So I think this is going to be a tight game. But from a prediction, I don't think any of these teams will get 3 points. And from a prediction, I'm going to go with 1-1. But if I have to choose a winner, I think Manchester City is a good team and they can win this game. But this season, they're not really performing well and they're playing away. So therefore, I'm going to go with a draw. Everton versus Arsenal. This is another good game to watch. Everton do have 7 points in the last 3 games. And Arsenal actually got 3 points in the last 6 games. This is very disappointing from a club like Arsenal. So I think both of these teams will be pushing for a win, especially Arsenal because their recent form is not looking good. And I think they will have to pick up points from here onward because if they don't pick up points, I think finishing top 10 will be impossible for them. But Arsenal did got a draw against Southampton, and it was a win for them because they were a man down and still they hold on to Southampton. So I think Arsenal will be very, very happy with themselves. On the other hand, Everton, they've been playing some decent football. Their form line did dip down a little bit. But after Chelsea win, they've been playing decent football. They also did beat Leicester City. So I think Everton are finally waking up again. And I think this is going to be a very, very tough fixture for Arsenal. From a prediction, I think this is going to be a tight game. But I am still not really convinced with Arsenal performance. So therefore, I'm going to go with Everton 2, Arsenal 1. Newcastle versus Fulham. I think this is a great game to watch. Both of these clubs do have some decent form line recently. Newcastle, they got 6 points in the last 3 games. On the other hand, Fulham, they are also playing some decent football. They got a win against Leicester City, 2-0 defeat against Manchester City, and then 1-1 draw and a 0-0 draw against Brighton and Liverpool. So I think both of these teams are playing some okay football, I should say. So I think this is going to be a decent game. It's going to be a close game. But for my prediction, I'm actually going to give Newcastle a chance to win this game because they're at home and they're actually playing some decent football recently as well. So therefore, I think Newcastle will win this game. But I think it's going to be a close game. Newcastle 1, Fulham 0. Sheffield United versus Brighton. Brighton will have to win this game because they're just 2 points ahead of relegation zone. And coming against Sheffield United, I think they will be telling themselves we have to win this game because if they don't win this game, I can tell you that they might put themselves in deep trouble. because their coming fixture is not really friendly to them. So they have to somehow pick up some momentum out of this game so that going into those tough fixture they can pick up some points. On the other hand, Sheffield United, we don't really have to talk about them because they've been very disappointing this season. Yes, they did play some decent football against Manchester United, but to be honest, I don't think that they are competitive enough for Premier League this season. Maybe they'll pick up some surprise points against some big clubs or some games that we didn't expect them to win. But I think it's going to be difficult for them to win this game because Brighton will be throwing everything at Sheffield United and Brighton will be eager to get 3 points out of this game. So therefore, from a prediction, I'm going to go with Brighton 2, Sheffield United 0. Tottenham versus Leicester City. Tottenham, they're coming off a 2-1 defeat against Liverpool. At some stage, they did look like a team that might win that game, but they didn't take their chances, and Liverpool last-minute winner really cost them the game. On the other hand, for Leicester City, I just don't know what to say about this team. Whenever I say they're going to win, they will end up losing, and whenever I say they lose, they'll win the game. So I really don't know what to say about this team. So I'll just go straight to my prediction. I think Tottenham will win this game with a scoreline of 2-0. And for Leicester City, honestly, whenever I say they will win, they end up losing. But when I say they lose, they win. So this team really hates my prediction. Still, I think Leicester City has been a little bit disappointing this season, even though sometimes they do put on a good show, but then suddenly they'll perform really bad against some lower ranked team or some unexpected defeat, just like against Everton. Everton were not performing well, but Leicester City were like really playing terrible football in that game. They also did similar thing against Fulham. So I think Leicester City has been very disappointing, and it's really hard to pick what kind of Leicester City will come up against your team. Manchester United versus Leeds United. I think this is a great game to watch. Manchester United are coming off a 3-2 win. On the other hand, Leeds United are coming off a 5-2 win. So there's a very interesting fact about Manchester United this season, because when it comes to home, they only got 5 points in 6 games. But when it comes to away, they got 18 points in 6 games. So this is a very interesting point, I should say. And I do think that this game will end up in a draw. Even though Leeds United are not consistent, but they do play some good football. And we all know that Manchester United defense is not really 100% convincing. So I do think that Leeds United will break through Manchester United defense to score some goals. Also for Manchester United, I think they'll score some goals as well, because Leeds United defense is not really 100% convincing as well. So I'm going to go with a draw, Manchester United 2, Liverpool 2. West Bromwich versus Aston Villa. West Bromwich are coming off a 1-1 draw against Manchester City, but they will be playing this game with the new manager. On the other hand, Aston Villa are coming off a 0-0 draw against Burnley. I think they should have won that game because they were playing some decent football, but Burnley goalkeeper was excellent, and Burnley were like really defending deep. And on the other hand, Aston Villa, they created a lot of chances, but they were not finishing. So I think it was a very disappointing draw for Aston Villa. And coming into West Bromwich game, I think they will be telling themselves, we have to get a win because we are looking good and we have to keep our momentum. So therefore, I'm going to go with Aston Villa to win this game with a scoreline of 3-0. Burnley versus Wolves. Burnley are coming off a 0-0 draw against Aston Villa. Nick Pope was excellent in that game. On the other hand, Wolves are coming off a 2-1 win against Chelsea. So both of these teams are coming to this fixture with some positive note. For Burnley, they'll be relying a lot on Nick Pope because he has been some tremendous form. He have made some really good saves. So I think he's in good form, and Burnley will really rely on him. On the other hand, for Wolves, they're coming off a 2-1 win, and they finally went with back 3 tactics. So it really worked for them, and I think they'll go with back 3 once again over here. This is going to be a close game. I don't think we will see a lot of goals because both of these teams don't really like to score goals or create chances, and they both like to sit back. So it's going to be a very interesting game. But from a prediction, I actually think that Wolves might actually win this game with a scoreline of 1-0. But it's going to be a tight game. A draw won't be surprising, but I think Wolves will win this game. West Ham versus Chelsea. I think this is going to be a close game, but I do think that West Ham will be eager to win this game because they know that Chelsea are not performing well recently and the form line is really dropping. So therefore, it's going to be a tight game. But for my prediction, I'm going to go with Chelsea 1, West Ham 1. But if Chelsea come up with something more effective, like if they put Werner as a striker, I think he will play much better, and I won't be surprised if he score a goal and if Chelsea win the game. But if they put him as a winger, I think Chelsea will be losing once again. Or actually, I think they'll end up getting 1 point out of this game. And also from a prediction, I'm going to go with 1-1. So that's it for Premier League Match Week 14 preview and prediction. I hope you guys did enjoy my prediction. And if you did, please give a big thumbs up. And remember to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys soon.